Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Yellow with me, RockPaperMario, and we're gonna fight this guy. I hoy, the kid was wandering around! What, you taught, tutty tat. Well, no, it's not tutty tat, it's pushy tat. Well, we're getting off to another great start here on Let's Play Pokemon Yellow with insane RockPaperMario, so... if a psychiatrist ever saw these videos, they'd just think, oh man. They just wouldn't know what to do. Well, gee, maybe I should take you out to the front of the party because you're kind of eating all the experience. Oh man, that just reminded me of something funny. Remember when we were in primary school? When I was in primary school, and it was like my last year in primary school, I was like 12. And we had these like student teachers instead of our regular teacher for a week. And this was about the time, because this was 2002, so this is when like the Celtic Tiger was in the news. The Celtic Tiger doesn't exist anymore, but this was when the Celtic Tiger was all the rage because it actually existed, or people believed it to exist beyond its means or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But she was talking about the Celtic Tiger or something, and she was like, "Why is it called the Celtic Tiger?" And my friend just like leaned across the desk and said like, "Because it eats their profits." And I like burst out laughing, because if I hear something really funny, oftentimes I'll just burst out laughing and not be able to stop. And then, like, I got in trouble because I just couldn't stop laughing, and I hate it when that happens, because then you get in trouble and you're like, okay, I'll stop. But you can't stop because you're there like trying not to laugh, and it was just so funny. You like when they eat your profits, rah, 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 rah. And the same thing happened. I got in trouble like 2 years later in secondary school when I was 14, because we were doing meditation in religion class or something like that. Well, I call it religion class, but it was way better because the teacher we had didn't really teach it like a religion class. We were doing meditation. Help me, please. Oh me, oh ma. My land, look at him. He's such a coward. Who's such a coward? That guy standing next to you? You mean Koga's Sprite? They must have targeted Silph for our Pokemon products. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, we were doing meditation, so we were all supposed to close our eyes. And the guy was sitting next to it, he's still a really good friend of mine, and we were like, we sat together for that whole year in the exact same spot in nearly every class. It was so crazy, because that never happened, because usually you're like moving around and stuff like that, and they mix stuff up with like the seating arrangements. But yeah, we were sitting that year we were sitting together for the whole year in the same 2 spots practically, for every class. And our religion teacher was like, okay, close your eyes. So we all closed our eyes, and he was like, we went for 20 minutes, we went through this thing where he was like, okay, your head is relaxing and stuff like that. Your head is relaxed, and we were supposed to repeat this in our minds or whatever. And we went all the way down to our toes, like from head to toe doing this. That took like 20 minutes. And then he was like, okay, now imagine you're on a beach next to the water, and then my friend just like kind of whisper shouted, like he kind of shouted, but it wasn't like a quiet shout, so it was like a whisper imitating a shout, and he just like whispered at me, "Shark! Shark!" And I was like, I just couldn't stop laughing. I literally had to leave the room because I was like, oh man, and I practically got in trouble over that as well. It was like I never get in trouble over things that are my own doing. If I ever got in trouble in school, it was because someone else made me laugh, or because someone made me do something like silly like that. I don't know. Because I'm really paranoid about getting in trouble. But as well, I'm pretty good. Like when I was in school, like I basically, if you've ever read 1984, you'll know that in one part of it, Julia says, oh, you're supposed to keep all the small rules so you can break the bigger ones. And that's basically the way I used to do business in school, was that like, if you're really nice to this is like my advice, Harry's advice for people who are still in school, is if you're really nice to teachers and you do your homework most of the time, then you're able to make them do whatever you want, because you're able to like sweet talk them into agreeing to whatever you want to do. So like you can like not do your homework and be like, oh no, I never blah blah blah, and like spin them some yarn about it. And that sounds really Machiavellian of me. It sounds really like sociopathic, where I'm like, ah, I can control the people in my environment. But it's not really like that. It's just really handy. What, you can't self-destruct on G? Hopefully his like rolls will absorb the. That was pathetic. That was literally pathetic. Okay, I think it's time to switch because G is just becoming a complete and utter monster now. Go give Pikachu a go. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I was like I was always paranoid about getting in trouble, so I never got in trouble unless it was someone else's fault. So, I don't know, and that didn't happen that often. But yeah, the times it did happen, and I remember it so vividly. I still giggle when I think about that shark thing. Because he's just like, he's such a funny guy. He's really funny, that guy, Michael Lucy. He's hilarious. He's just like, shark, shark. He made me laugh another time. Literally, one time, like, because sometimes I get into fits of laughter where I literally can't stop, and this was ridiculous. Why didn't I pay attention to what was going on the screen? Because I was looking at my timer. Another time we were there after school waiting around because, like, there used to be, because I couldn't get collected. We'd finish school at 4 o'clock, but I couldn't be collected until 6 o'clock most of the time. And there were other people who'd be hanging around the school in the social area as well, waiting to be collected by their parents and stuff. So people who live out the country, so they can't get the bus home or they can't walk home or anything. So you'd, like, and if your parents work until 5, then they're usually not going to be out at the school until 6. So, like, and I remember my friend Gillian was like, one time, she was talking about how, like, they were watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton one, in class, because this is what we did in our final year of school, is we watched movies instead of studying and learning things. It's so ridiculous now that I think about it. But, like, they were watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and she was, like, started doing this thing where, like, if you imagine, what it reminded me of is Joe and Mario Brothers, the crabs, the sidesteppers, and they, like, move their claws and walk along. She started doing that with her hands, like making her hand into a claw and, like, holding it up the side and, like, doing it with both her hands. And, like, kind of making a funny expression and, like, bobbing from side to side going, Veruca salt, Veruca salt, Veruca salt. And it was just the funniest thing that I'd ever seen in my life. I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just... I can't even explain to you how funny it was. And I was laughing literally for a half hour. And because everyone was like, oh my god, he can't stop laughing. So they kept, like, trying to make me laugh more by saying funny things. And I remember Michael Lucy, that guy who had said, like, shark. He kept, like, leaning in really close and going, platypus, platypus, like that. Now, this isn't when we're kids or anything. This is when we're all 18 and being ridiculous. Like, no wonder I'm so insane. When we were all ridiculous when we were 18 years old, just, like, doing crazy stuff like this. Everyone else was boring by comparison. So yeah. Jeez, Rosa Gina, you need to get a level up, man. But yeah, so everyone else was boring in comparison. I'm one of the 4 Rocket brothers. But yeah, so he kept, like, going, platypus, and I was laughing literally for a half an hour. I couldn't stop. I remember looking at the clock while I was laughing, going, oh my god, I'm still laughing. And everyone was like, he's still laughing. It was so ridiculous. But it was all because Gillian started going, like, Veruca salt, and, like, doing this thing with her hands like claws and, like, moving from side to side. I don't know. Everyone there must have thought we were nuts, because, like, there'd be, like, music classes on after school. And, like, parents, like, sitting there waiting for their kids to finish. And they must have seen us and thought we were some sort maladjusted or something like that. Because we'd be there, like, doing all this crazy stuff and talking about stupid things. And doing that thing, there were, like, tiles in the social area in our school, like plastic lino tiles or whatever. And they were different colours. And when you're small and you're in, let's say, in the shop, like the supermarket or whatever, and, like, the tiles are different colours, and you do that thing where you, like, try not to step on one of the colours, so you'll try only to step on the black ones or whatever. So we'd, like, go around, like, the social area, which was quite big. It was, like, about, I don't know how big it was, but it was quite big. It was like a hall, and we'd, like, do that, like, trying to, like, stand on the tiles without, like, standing on a certain colour. But they weren't, like, in a uniform pattern. They were in, like, an erratic kind of a random pattern. So it was just really crazy. Oh, what's up with you, sucker? He smells a little rat. You dirty rat! Yeah, so they must have thought we were nuts, I don't know. Oh man. Those memories, like, they're the best memories I have at school. Those, like, times spent after school in the social area, acting like a nutcase when I'm supposed to be doing homework. I always ended up doing my homework in the morning, because I have this, like, I can't work on Like, I can't do homework or anything like that if there are other people around, because I just get distracted. And I just find it irritating to work when there are other people, like, trying to talk to me and stuff like that. It just doesn't work. So, I'm just trying to mathematically, find out what time I'm able to go on to. I think I've been recording. Okay, I can do 5 more minutes, 4.5 more minutes, I think. But, yeah, so I always used to, like, procrastinate and put my homework off, like, so what I'd do then is I'd wake up early. I'd go to bed, like, at a normal time, like, early enough, but then I'd wake up early in the morning, and I'd always be able to do my homework really well and really quickly in the morning because no one else would be up, and I'd be really, like, refreshed after a night's sleep or whatever. So I even still do that. I do, like, essays in the morning and wake up and stuff like that, essays for college and stuff, because I just find it easier. Here I am, like, not talking about what's going on in the game anymore. I don't know, I find it really hard with my commentary to get a balance going between what's happening in the game and what I'm talking about. Because, I don't, like, want to just talk about what's in the game, but I don't know, I don't really want to just talk about random stuff that has nothing to do with the game either. It's hard when it's a Pokemon game, because what am I supposed to do? Like, say, oh, Charizard, use Ember. Oh, Golbat died. Oh, I defeated that guy. Let's move on to the next guy. Oh, Charizard, go. Use Ember. Oh, Golbat died. Okay, I've defeated that guy. Let's move on to the next one. It's like, what, is that what the way you'd like me to commentate? I don't think so, because that would just be boring as hell, so... I don't know, I find it really hard to strike a balance between those two extremes. And I tend to err on the side of talking more about rubbish that has nothing to do with the game than actual stuff that's happening in the game. Well, hey, Koosa the Goopa Goop. I do not know why I called him Koosa the Goopa Goop. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I love the way Koosa the Goopa Goop sounded like Dom DeLuise. I don't know whether it was Dom DeLuise that actually did Koosi's voice, but it sounded exactly like him. Now I'm going to show you how to make a Pepe rap. Oh, Koosie, man. Oh, hi, Muck. I like Muck's sprite. He looks like he's moving, rather than just sitting there. I hate that. I can't remember which game it's in, but Muck has this really stupid-looking sprite, where it's kind of like leaning forward, and has one arm like in a big curvy like motion up over its head. And I don't know, it just looks really wrong. It looks really ridiculous. It has like a big curvy arm stuck over its head, and has like a giant face that's leaning over. I don't know, it just looks really stupid. I don't know. Like a 2-year-old could have done a better sprite than that. Am I going to start like bitching about sprites again? About the sprites being boring in games now? Okay, which Pokemon needs to be trained up? We'll get Bill Murray up in this bitch. Well, how much time do I have left? I have like 2 minutes left. Yo, like 2 minutes! Ash found calcium! Who's that? That guy looks familiar. I wonder who it could be. Something's coming. I wonder what. If you know what movie that line is from, then you're awesome. But let's see what items we can use, because I probably got more of those carbos and protein. What does that one do? I don't know. Bill Murray's oh well, that was a waste, wasn't it? Sorry, Bill Murray. Carbos. I think that does speed, so let's give that to, I don't know, Pikachu. Yep. And I think calcium is special, so let's give that to, I don't know who. Well, I suppose we could give it to Edgar to give him a bit of a boost in the special department. Okay, I don't think I have much time left, so I'm actually going to end it off here. We might finish the Silph Co in the next video. I sincerely doubt it, though. But, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video, guys. See you next time.